Welcome to my channel, Act on Mental Health. If you're new here, my name is Sean Hardy, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. On this channel, I talk about acceptance and commitment therapy, and so if you want to learn ACT, you're in the right place. Now, this is session 2 of a series that we're doing on stress management. Now, last week I mentioned this resource called Doing What Matters in Times of Stress, and this is a free resource that's available on the WHO website. And so I put the link in the description below, and you're welcome to follow this. Now, what I love about this resource is its illustrations. It seems with the clients that I work with, it's really easy to understand and grasp the concepts. And they go over 5 tools that are useful when managing stress. Now, we talked about tool number 1 last week with my wife, who was demonstrating some of the grounding techniques. So we talked about the tool of grounding and how it has 3 steps. Now, first, you notice what's going on. And second, you connect with your body. And then third, you refocus and re-engage in the present moment. In this session, we're going to learn tool 2 of unhooking. Now, if this is a new term for you, let's revisit what stress is and how we can get hooked. And then we'll return to how we can unhook ourselves. Stress is a natural response to a difficult situation. And when we are stressed, difficult thoughts and feelings appear. These can include all sorts of difficult feelings, such as fear, anger, sadness, or guilt, or difficult thoughts in the form of painful memories or worries about the future, or blaming yourself or others. Sometimes stress appears in the form of physical feelings, such as pain in our head, or in our belly, or our heart beating fast, or our mouth being dry. And these thoughts and feelings can easily hook us and pull us away from our life and the things that are important to us. For example, we might become so lost in remembering a painful event from the past or worrying about the future that we miss out on the life in the present. We might not be fully aware of what's happening around us, not fully connected with our friends and family or the people around us, not fully concentrated on what we're doing. Unfortunately, when we become hooked by difficult thoughts and feelings, we often start saying or doing things that make our lives worse. For example, many people, when they become hooked by difficult thoughts and feelings, sit or lie down a lot more than usual and give up doing things that are important. Other people start to withdraw from the people around them. They isolate themselves from family and friends and neighbors, or they may become very quiet or saying little. Other people become aggressive or critical of others. They start to argue or criticize or pick fights with friends and families and neighbors, maybe even threatening or physically attacking people. We handle stress much better when we know how to unhook ourselves from these difficult thoughts and feelings. One way to do this is to connect more with the people that we care about, focusing our attention more on the things we do and engage more fully in what we're doing. The good thing is, when we do this, it also helps us to do things better, to interact better with other people, and to get more satisfaction out of life. There are many ways to try to get rid of difficult thoughts and feelings, and many of these methods work in the short term for a short time. They do make the thoughts and feelings go away or make you feel a bit better, but none of these methods get rid of your difficult thoughts and feelings in the long term. They might disappear for a little while, but they soon come back again, often stronger than before. And the problem is, many of these methods make your life even worse in the long term. Many of these methods pull you away from your values. They pull you away from behaving like the sort of person you really want to be. For example, think about someone who drinks alcohol, smokes tobacco, or uses other types of drugs or substances to deal with difficult thoughts and feelings. Now, it's true that drinking or taking a drug might cause those difficult thoughts and feelings to go away for a little bit, but it does nothing to change them in the long term. And regular use often creates a whole new set of problems, which makes the situation even worse. Well, think about someone who tries to get rid of difficult thoughts and feelings by staying inside alone. This might feel good for a while, but doing it too much can lead to other problems, like losing important friendships or not being able to support the family. Naturally, most of us would like it if we could just get rid of our difficult thoughts and feelings. And so it's understandable that we try different ways to try to make them go away. But difficult thoughts and feelings do not work in that way. And often the more we try to get rid of them, the stronger they become. they hook us even more. The good news is that there is a different way. Instead of trying to get rid of difficult thoughts and feelings, we can learn how to unhook from them and to engage with the world around us. When we unhook from difficult thoughts and feelings, they do not disappear. They are still there. They are a part of us, but they do not control us. They do not overpower us. We will now begin with an exercise that I think will help you to better understand what I mean by hooking and how unhooking can help you. This exercise might seem a bit strange or funny at first, but it shows us how easy it is to be lost in or consumed by our thoughts. And when this happens, how that can interfere with our ability to see life clearly. So we will begin now. Imagine your hands are your thoughts and feelings. Now put your hands together and open them palm upwards as if they are pages of an open book. Now imagine that out in front of you, at the front of this space, is everything that matters. All the people you care about, your family, friends, neighbors, community, and all the activities that you care about. Singing or praying or sharing a meal or playing a game or taking care of your children. Also in front of you are all the important things you need to do to make your life as good as it possibly can be. In your current situation, also in front of you, are all your problems and difficulties and challenges. Now let's see what happens when we get hooked by our thoughts and feelings. So keep your hands together like the pages of an open book, and slowly, very slowly, lift them closer and closer towards your face until they are covering your eyes. Now keep them there, over your eyes. This is what it's like to get hooked by your thoughts and feelings. Keep your hands there, covering your eyes, and notice how much you're missing. How much of your family can you see? If someone you love were in front of you right now, how hard would it be to give him or her your full attention? How difficult is it to take action like this, to do the things that make your life work? This is what we mean when we say you're hooked. These thoughts and feelings have hooked you, pulled you out of your life, pulled you away from the things that matter to you. Now slowly unhook yourself from your thoughts and feelings. Very, very slowly. Now I want you to go ahead and take your hands and slowly place them in your lap. What is the view like now? How much easier is it to engage and connect? Now move your arms and hands and shake your hands and wave your arms. How much easier is it now to do the things that make your life work? To eat your dinner, or to lift a load, or to support someone you love, or be friendly with your neighbor and notice your hands have not disappeared. They are still there. They are always with you. They are a part of you. So if you can use them, do so. And if not, just let them rest there in your lap. Now, as it is with our hands, so it is with our thoughts and feelings. When we unhook from them, they do not disappear. They're still there. They are a part of us. But how much easier is life when we can unhook from them? And after we have unhooked, if we can make good use of them, we'll do so. Despite being difficult, our thoughts and feelings can give us valuable information. They can remind us of what we care about and what is important to us and where we need to take action. And if we can't make use of them, we just let them sit there, like resting your hands in your lap. So this is what we mean by unhooking by difficult thoughts and feelings. They're still there, but they no longer hook you and pull you into moving away from your values, moving away from being the sort of person you want to be. Of course, it's easy to do this exercise with our hands, but how can we do this with our real thoughts and feelings? Similar to grounding, unhooking has 3 skills. First, we notice we're hooked. Second, we name our experience. And third, we refocus on what we're doing. Now, this may seem basic, but for many, they find this a very different approach from the ones they've tried to get rid of or manage their difficult thoughts and feelings. Now, let's try an activity to show how we can learn this first skill of noticing. Now, stress typically shows up in our body. So notice where in your body that stress is felt most prominent. Go ahead and mentally circle the areas of the body that pertain to you, and comment below if you'd like to share them. For me, stress shows up in the back of my body, on my neck and head. And sometimes I notice on the top of my chest that there's some stress that's building. Now, once you've identified where in your body stress is located, we're going to look at what thoughts and feelings show up when stressed. Now, in this thought bubble diagram, there's many forms of thoughts, feelings, and memories that could show up. For you, you may have a few of these that appear. So use your fingers to count the ones that relate to you. There may be automatic thoughts that often appear when stressed, such as, I have so much to do, or this is so frustrating. Noticing is the first skill. Now, the second skill is naming. I'll show you 2 ways to do this, and whichever is more natural, do it that way. Now, naming is saying out loud the feeling, thought, sensation, or memory that you're noticing. The first way is to say, here is tightness in my chest. Here is pressure in my forehead. Here is a painful memory. Here are fears about the future. Here is a thought about the past. Here is anger. Here's a difficult thought about my family. Basically, you're calling out whatever content comes to mind about what you're noticing. The second way extends this, but adds an important word of noticing to create more distance and diffusion, and unhooks us even more. Now you say, I notice here is tightness in my chest. I notice here is a painful memory. I notice here is anger. I notice here a knot in my stomach. I notice here is a thought about what I fear. To review, we first noticed your difficult thought and feeling. Secondly, we name the thought and feeling. You can do this silently, or you can say it out loud. And third, refocus on what you were doing. We want to get back to what we were doing before we got hooked. Now, the more you practice this, the better you're going to get. So see if you can practice this over and over again, all day long, as you're going about your daily activities. Every time you notice that you have been hooked, run through these steps. And remember, it's natural to have difficult thoughts and feelings appear when we're stressed. This happens to everyone. There are many ways to name a thought or feeling after we notice it. And after we notice, named, we can refocus on the world around us. We engage in life by noticing what we can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear. Now think of some times and places or activities for regular practice. For me, I practice these when I go to bed or when I'm driving. That's it for session 2 and learning the tool Unhooking. Next session, we'll talk about the importance of values and the tool of acting on your values. Remember, your journey towards a more purposeful and mindful life begins with a single click.